We live in a world where we can edit human genes, land rockets on floating platforms in the middle of the ocean, and carry supercomputers in our pockets. But if you have a few too many drinks on a Friday night, the best advice medicine has for you is drink some water and try and sleep it off. That gap between what we can do as a species and what we can't do about a hangover is fascinating. Because it's not that scientists haven't tried, they have. It's that a hangover is so much more complicated and so much stranger than most of us realise. And yet, billions of us keep searching for the cure. Greasy breakfasts, miracle pills, hair of the dog. None of it actually works. So in the next few minutes, we're going to bust the myths, dig into the science, and figure out what does actually help when you're hungover. Let's start with the myths. You've probably heard at least one. A full English breakfast, coffee as strong as possible, hair of the dog, which is drinking more alcohol the next morning. But that's just the modern stuff. Over history, people have tried all kinds of crazy hangover cures. The Romans thought deep-fried canary would do the trick. The Mongolians, pickled sheep eyeballs in tomato juice. And honestly, at that point, maybe the hangover's the lesser evil. But the problem is, none of these tricks actually work. Coffee, it might wake you up, but it doesn't undo the damage alcohol did. Greasy food, it just slows digestion, which your already irritated stomach won't thank you for. Ironically, something much simpler, like toast or a banana, will do more good. Hair of the dog, that just delays the inevitable, and can actually increase dependence. So if none of these work, what's really going on in your body during a hangover? A hangover is your body's way of reminding you that alcohol isn't harmless fun. It's a toxin. When you drink, your liver converts alcohol into acetaldehyde. And trust me, that stuff is nasty. It's toxic, inflammatory, and exhausting to process. At the same time, alcohol makes you pee more. After just 4 drinks, you can lose nearly a quart of fluid in the hours that follow. Along with it go electrolytes, salts and minerals your body needs. That's why your mouth feels like sandpaper in the morning. It doesn't stop there. Alcohol disrupts sleep cycles, scrambles your blood sugar, irritates your stomach lining, and even alters hormone balance. That groggy, anxious, heart-racing misery is a perfect storm of dehydration, chemical buildup, and sleep deprivation. And the thing is, once alcohol's in your system, time is the only guaranteed cure. But there are ways to help your body through it. First, rehydrate. Water is your best friend. Even better are fluids with electrolytes, sports drinks, coconut water, or a simple rehydration sachet. They help replace what your body lost. Second, eat light. Forget the greasy fry-up. What your body actually wants are fast digesting carbs and nutrients. Toast, crackers, porridge, fruit, or eggs. Eggs are particularly handy. They contain amino acids your liver uses to detoxify alcohol. Third, rest. Alcohol ruins REM sleep. So even if you clocked 8 hours, it wasn't restorative. Sometimes the best fix is simply crawling back into bed. Finally, pain relief. Paracetamol is usually safest, but avoid ibuprofen if your stomach's upset. And never combine alcohol with paracetamol. That pairing can seriously damage your liver. None of this is glamorous, but it works. It doesn't erase a hangover, it just makes the ride less miserable. Of course, the best hangover cure is the boring one, not getting one in the first place. That means pacing your drinks, alternating with water, and eating beforehand to slow absorption. Even what you drink matters. Dark liquors, whiskey, rum, and red wine contain congeners, chemicals produced during fermentation that make hangovers harsher. In fact, whiskey can trigger hangovers up to 37 times worse than vodka. And here's the cruel part, some people are basically resistant to hangovers, while others get wrecked after 1 glass. About a quarter of drinkers don't really experience hangovers at all. For the rest of us though, the more you drink, the more you'll regret it. Now you might be thinking, okay, so hangovers are annoying, but why does this matter? Because hangovers aren't just about feeling rough, they cost economies billions in lost productivity every year. They affect safety too. People lose their licenses, or worse, because they didn't realise they were still over the legal limit the morning after. And regular heavy drinking that leads to constant hangovers isn't just uncomfortable, it's damaging your liver, your heart, and your brain. So the question of hangover cures isn't just about comfort, it's about health, safety, and how we think about alcohol. So can foods or drinks cure a hangover? No, but they can make the ride less bumpy. The best strategy is simple. Drink less, hydrate more, eat well, and give your body time to recover. In other words, the real hangover cure isn't found in a pill, a greasy breakfast, or a miracle hack. It's found in prevention, patience, and maybe a glass of water before bed. We can land rockets on platforms in the middle of the ocean, but curing a hangover still comes down to the basics. And maybe that's the lesson. Sometimes the most human problems don't have high-tech solutions, just your body asking you to go easy next time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.